Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today you'll join me in Heroes of Might and Magic Free, the complete edition. That's right, they've actually finally finished this game. You see, we're the kind of YouTube channel not to play brand new early access games. Instead, we're playing games that were completed over 20 years ago. That's right, today we're here playing Heroes of Might and Magic Free, a game which first released all the way back in 1999, making this one of the oldest games we've featured yet on the channel, yet it's somehow also one of the best. My goodness, this game is just downright fantastic. It is glorious, it is majestic, and it also smells quite good. Yes, retro smells. The best kind. Or probably the worst. Yes, generally the worst. I don't really know how you can rate a game by smell, but maybe that's where IGN's been failing. If they're doing reviews of games like Fallout 76 and putting them really quite high, and then I play the game and I know it's bad, it's because their review simply lacked a smell rating, not because they're exceedingly disenfranchised with the common gamer. Yes, it's probably the smell review. Anyway, all nasal-based queries aside, let us instead dive into this game, where today I'll be playing this glorious cult classic and be demonstrating why this game is often regarded as the most exploitable game. Not because it has maybe the largest quantity of exploits, but because the multiplayer scene of this game is just quite simply various exploiters trying to out-exploit each other. And my goodness, is it a fantastic sight indeed. But today, with so many exploits to choose from, I had to narrow it down, and so we'll be doing the most powerful of all, the diplomacy exploit. That's right, this game has diplomacy, and you can kind of get a diplomacy victory, but diplomacy in this game does not mean making peace with the other players. Diplomacy in this game means cheesing your army into not fighting the random AI hordes around the map, and instead recruiting some of the highest tiered units in the game, which are previously completely inaccessible. That's how balanced diplomacy is. My goodness. So without further ado, let's dive right into this game. So firstly, make sure you're sat back, you're relaxed, you probably want a fan running in the background because goodness, this summer has literally melted me to pieces. And if you're especially fantastic and somewhat of a level 16,000 power lich yourself, you might have given this video a like early. My goodness, you majestic sausage. And maybe if you've played this game before, or any game in the Heroes of Might and Magic series, you've jumped down into the comment section to give me a shout, or more likely, you've probably jumped down into the comment section to say, what is this game? Why does it look like this? That's not what human beings look like. Well, actually, you're wrong. Nonetheless, thousands of you people voted for a video on this game, so here we are. And so, without further ado, thanks to all of you majestic people, let's dive into a brand new game and see what the world holds for us. Oh, by the way, you know it's a very high quality game when there aren't even any options in the main menu. If you want to edit any of the in-games options, you have to be in the physical game itself. Yes, it's just that fantastic. Right, now we're going to start a brand new single-player scenario where we play off against various enemies and hopefully we can win. I mean, there are some fantastical scenarios in this game, and hopefully we won't play one too difficult because I don't have that many hours on this game. There are people out there with thousands and thousands of hours, but I'm afraid I am not one of them. So for that reason, we'll play a nice easy map difficulty against one other AI. Fantastic, the map called A Key to Victory. This looks perfect, ladies and gentlemen. A simple 1v1 against the AI. What could go wrong in Heroes of Might and Magic? Now many of you might be thinking, where does this game get its name from? Well, it's called Heroes as a representation of the fact that your armies are led by all-knowing, all-powerful, super attractive and super strong. Oh wait, I'm just listing off my own qualities. Yes, your armies are led by effectively god-tier heroes. And then of course might comes from the Greek god Mightius, the Greek god of ambiguity, not quite sure if he's going to do something or not. Not to be confused with his brother Maomenoticus. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, let us dive into this game. So as I mentioned, we are going to be exploiting this game's diplomacy mechanic. Basically, you can use diplomacy in this game to dodge fights, and not only dodge fights, but to also effectively recruit massive armies for free with units that you wouldn't normally have access to. And the reason you don't normally have access to them is because they are way too overpowered. So here we are playing the game. As for some reason on this map we can't play as humans with the diplomacy ability, we will instead play as the elfy dwarf people, because you know what, they also have a second exploit thrown in for good measure, so that's fine. I'm going to be playing as the hero Ryland on his fantastical adventure to just yeet his way through the universe. And for a starting bonus, you of course want to go for a starting artifact, because artifacts in this game can be the difference between just having one extra damage or the ability to literally set the entire universe on fire at just the snap snap of your fingers. But I don't even need artifacts for that, because I have the refreshing taste of Yorkshire tea. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for the low cost of only £3.99 or 14 million Russian rubles, you can buy yourself some Yorkshire tea, and my goodness, is it not fantastic. 17,000 peasant warriors, when stood at the top of a volcano, said that Yorkshire tea was one of the single greatest beverages they've ever tasted, and please can you take us down from here, Master Spiff? So make sure to go get yours today, because my goodness, is it not fantastic. Anyway, let's begin this game. Also, what artifact did we start out with? Ooh, the View Collar of Conjuring. This means all of my spells have an increased duration of 1. Very nice. This is especially useful with spells like Blind, which allow you to basically turn an enemy unit blind, preventing them from moving or attacking. Yep, it's perfectly balanced. But anyway, Ryland is special because he has basic diplomacy. This allows him to negotiate with the various monsters on the map, and if they're a weaker group, they might choose to run away or join us. Oh, it's fantastic. Also has a speciality of dendroids, meaning that dendroid soldiers in his armies do better, something like that. So we basically play as the Hobbits. I know, we play as a wacky bunch of literal mad lads just getting together for fun. We can recruit things like dwarves, centaurs, and eventually we can unlock a building called the Treasury. The Treasury is rather unique because it means that whatever gold you have in your bank at the start of the week is instantly gains an interest of 10%. Yes, that's perfectly balanced. Also, if you have multiple cities with this, you can build this multiple times. So if you were to have 10 cities of the Hobbit type of people, you can get a 100% increase on whatever is in your treasury at the start of your turn. Yes, that's just how balanced it is. But instead of focusing on that, we're instead going to build our town hall and get an income of 1,000 gold per turn going. Very nice. And whilst we're here, we'll also recruit 14 centaurs and 8 dwarvy boys to join our army. Fantastic. Now, as I mentioned, each and every single unit in this game has a special modifier. For example, dwarves here have a 20% magic resistance. The centaurs, however, have their special ability, which is that they're just cannon fodder. As you can see, each and every single unit has a stat. They have an attack skill, a defense skill, a damage skill, and health and speed. As we have 37 centaurs, each of those centaurs hit for between 2 to 3 damage in combat, meaning our damage per turn of attack is 37 times 2 or 3. Dwarves, however, have almost double the health and double the attack. However, they have the negative modifier of moving at the speed of a stone rolling up a hill. Anyway, let us start the game by sending our hero on a magic adventure to grab all of the loot around our spawn. Oh, and it looks like we might be able to level him up. Fantastic. We're going to level him up with advanced leadership. Very nice. And there we go, our first turn is complete. Oh, and we've leveled up a second time. Fantastic. And now that we've gained a new level, we can choose to either advance our archery skills or advance our diplomacy skills. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has to be diplomacy. There's also an artifact up here, the rib cage, so we're going to grab that bad boy in our journeys. But each turn you are able to build one building in your new village. And one thing I'd like to rush out as fast as possible are the dendroids. They are absolutely lovely. So for that, we're going to need to build a homestead for the little elves to stay in. There we go. Now we have a place for the elves. And because we have a place for them, we can also recruit them. So there we go. 7 elves. Join the army, my friends. And there we go. We've just grabbed a random rib cage off of the floor. Fantastic. Please tell me, Reynold, what is this rib cage? Oh, he's actually just wearing it. Apparently increases your power skill by 2. Well, basically your power skill is how strong your magical spells are. So if you were to cast magic missile with no power, chances are you'll do 1 damage. If you cast magic missile with, say, 10 power, chances are you'll shatter a hole through reality itself. And that would be a bad idea, wouldn't it, Reynold? Wouldn't it? You know what, we're going to actually attack the halberdiers to our north. We might as well, they're standing right here. Ooh, we can attack them, and apparently if we were to allow the computer to resolve this, we're going to get a glorious victory in which we only lose 6 of our cannon fodder, and the enemy lose 26. You know what, I'm going to fight this manually so that I can demonstrate to you just how bad I am at the game, but also how the combat works. So this is the glorious and beautiful combat screen. Each unit goes turn by turn and will move across the map until they end up butting heads with each other. Our centaurs are very fast but absolutely useless, so we're just going to plonk them right here. If my character had any spells, then once a turn we could cast them, but I'm afraid Reynold over here has the magical abilities of a potato. Our elves, however, have the ability to shoot, so we're going to use them to launch a volley of arrows at the enemy. And wabam, 2 halberdiers have just died. And now it's up to the dwarves with their increased health but absolutely no movement speed. Oh, and you know what, whilst we're here we might as well begin charging into the enemy. Go, my centaurs, go! Wow, none of them died. That's actually fantastic. And And there we go, the first halberdiers are down. Now it's up to the dwarves to finish and save the day. Go dwarves, go! Okay, now the centaurs finish it. This is the issue with not having many dwarves. They can do absolutely nothing in combat. Anyway, the day is ours and we only lost 4 centaurs. Fantastic. Oh, and we can actually grab hold of this sawmill, which will give us some wood resources. Basically, around the map there'll be mines and stuff, and you need to grab them and they give you resources to build buildings. It's as simple as that. Anyway, that stack of halberdiers that we attacked, if we had a larger army, we would be able to intimidate them using our diplomacy stat and potentially push them into working for us. However, because we don't have a large army, they choose to just ignore us and laugh at us. But whilst we're here, we're going to grab the ability to actually recruit Pegasi. Yes, let us recruit Pegasi. Fantastic. Pegasi have the ability to dampen all magic, and our Dendroid guards have the ability to bind enemies in place. Basically, once per turn, they can just force an enemy unit to just sit where it is and do nothing. Perfectly balanced as always. Anyway, onwards with our adventure. Oh, what's this? A windmill. Fantastic. It's full of fantastic gems. Lovely. Now, to our north is a pack of magma elementals, and if I'm honest, I'd like to have them in my army, so I'm going to see if I can wander around and avoid them up until the point where our army is vastly overpowered, and they will most definitely join us. Oh, is this a tower? That just gives us a permanent increase in defense skill? Sure, that seems great. Oh, and beholders. Lovely, this seems easy. Oh, apparently it wouldn't actually be that easy. But it'll be a glorious victory nonetheless. So it's Reinhold versus a pair of evil eyes. Now I'm going to let the computer do this one. Well done, Reinhold. You're really getting your experience up there. Oh, and the week has ended, meaning all of our mines give us our resources, and also our lovely town over here has suddenly respawned all of the units. So logically you would be thinking, Spiff, okay, you're going to have to march Reinhold back to recruit all of those units. No. This is why in the game you want to recruit a second hero. We're going to recruit either Gretchen the Barbarian or Kiri the Ranger. You know, we'll go for the Barbarian. They seem like an absolute wild time. Wow, they're just full of goblins. Goblins are terrible, but I love them nonetheless. And so their job is solely going to be recruiting an entire army and bringing it over to our main hero so that our hero doesn't have to wander all the way back here. There we go. Right, Gretchen, go and deposit the new army. So there we go. The new army is created, and glorious it is, with a mix of silver Pegasi and now some brand new goblins who are even more meat shieldy than the centaurs. Anyway, Gretchen, you've done your job. Simply wander back to the town until you become useful again. So we're going to attack the magma elementals, and as you can see, because of our high diplomacy stat, we've suddenly triggered the diplomacy option. Basically, the magma elementals here say they desire greater glory and they wish to join us. This is because our army is so overwhelmingly powerful and it's times by our diplomacy stat that they've decided to join. So we're going to accept, and we're going to take the magma elementals here, who you can see are absolutely fantastic, and we're going to swap out the centaurs or the goblins. Well, it's got to be the goblins because they're just useless. So we're going to replace the goblins with our fantastic magma elementals. Now these magma elementals have the highest health pool of any of our units, the highest attack skill, defense skill, the highest base damage, and they are also completely immune to all mind spells. So these are some very late game units, and we've just grabbed 20 of them. You can see why it's a little bit wacky. We've wandered into a lovely little outpost which allows us to see the entire map. This is fantastic as it tells us where we should roughly be heading next, and also we can see the enemy player now. Very nice. So now our hero Reinhold is faced with a decision. Do we go right or do we go left? Honestly, we're gonna go right. Let's go see what this mercenary camp has to offer us. Go Reinhold, go! Oh, they increase your attack skill. Very nice. Now the hero's attack skill basically increases the attack of your entire army, which is, as you can guess, quite useful indeed. Well, let's visit this obelisk. Oh, we're decoding the puzzle map. Very nice. And whilst we're here, we might as well attack this pack of mummies. Oh, the mummies are so scared by our incredible power that they try and scatter. However, we're going to engage them anyway because it will be good experience. And honestly, it doesn't matter if we lose half our centaurs. They are kind of useless. Oh, and there we go. You're now a level 4 ranger. Sadly, we don't get the option to improve your diplomacy, but we can improve your leadership. A higher leadership means you have more morale. If for some reason your unit has exceptionally high morale, they'll be able to attack twice or attack with a magical rainbow critical attack. Wow, I just went into a prison and we've gained a brand new hero. It's a level 7 cleric with advanced diplomacy. Oh no! Oh game, you shouldn't have given me this. And they have 5 angels in their army? Oh my. This is very good. So now we have 2 absolutely memey diplomacy armies to mess about with. Oh, this can only get better. You know, whilst we're here, we're going to make a temporary kind of new army. Going to grab some of our best units. We're going to march them into this pack of wolves and the wolf scatter, but we're going to attack them anyway and get some nice experience. Lovely stuff. Now we're going to be switching to and using Adela as our main hero because she is outright just so fantastic. And so we're going to be transferring all of Reinald's lovely gear and loot that he managed to collect over to her. And sorry, Reinald, you've now become completely obsolete. Well, you know what? There's a large band of rogues over here. That seems like a perfect stack of units for us to convince to join us. Although, actually, I'd probably be better off just stealing all of the lizard men. Yes, that does seem like a better idea. The lizard men are in awe of our incredible power, and instead of choosing to join us, they decide to scatter. So we're going to pursue them and absolutely defeat them. Lovely stuff. Oh, and a large amount of whites. We're going to grab them next turn. So Adela over here is going to meet the whites, and lo and behold, they scatter as well, and we're going to chase them down. Well, all 20 of them defeated with no casualties. Perfectly balanced, and Adela has leveled up, and we can give her expert diplomacy. Fantastic. There we go, and the gem pond is ours. Now, what we've just built is a Mages Guild in our main city. The Mages Guild can basically be looked at with any hero, provided they have a spell book, and it generates a random amount of spells. The spells range from completely normal to absolutely bonkers brigade. We've been given Magic Arrow, which isn't bad, Stone Skin, which is pretty decent, and Cure, which is absolutely necessary. If you don't have this spell, you've basically lost the game. And there we go, a new turn begins, and so all dwellings on the map increase in population. This means we can suddenly recruit more units, but it also means the random bags of units you see wandering around have increased in population. So we're going to grab our cleric over here, the brand new expert diplomacy, and wander over to the Magogs, who are just going to flee because they're so bad at the game. And there we go. The sulfur mine is now ours. Now we're going to travel to the underworld a little bit with our fantastic Adela, as hopefully down here in the subterranean layer underneath the world, which we all know exists, there will be a couple of very high level beastie boys which you wouldn't normally have access to in the game, and hopefully we can use our overwhelming power to either scare them into submission and running away, or to convince them into joining our fantastic cause. Oh, here we go, fantastic, there's a pack of dwarves, we can grab them, no problem. They're guarding some kind of large quantity of loot and stuff, so that's a good sign for us. And there we go, as we've got a chest, I'm going to choose to take the gold, although normally in every other situation you should take the experience, but Adela here has already got expert level diplomacy, so we don't really have that much intention of leveling her up anymore. Oh, and because they are swayed by our fantastic diplomatic tongue, the dwarves standing here decide they will join our army for the low cost of 2,640. Now, because of our high diplomacy, this is slightly less than it actually would cost to recruit 22 dwarves, so we're going to grab them, as now we have an army with 38 dwarves in them, and dwarves are fantastic tanks because of their fantastic magic resistance. Now, let's go see if the ice elementals want to be friends. Oh yes, the ice elementals have a massive desire for greater glory. Will we accept them joining us? Of course we will, ice elementals, because you are absolutely crazy. You have higher vulnerability, but ice immunity. Lovely stuff. So we're going to get rid of our generic Pegasi and replace them with the ice elementals. That's because the Pegasi do 5 to 9 damage and have 30 health, whereas these boys do 3 to 7 and have 30 health, but they also have a ranged attack which does 24. 24 as a ranged attack is absolutely mental. I mean, yes, you can basically shred almost anything with that. And we've also grabbed the angel feather arrows. Now this is important because whilst we can use them ourselves to improve all of our archers, if we return it to a place on the overworld over here, they'll give us an extra special item, which is exactly what we're going to do. In fact, you know what, this seems like a job for Gretchen, so go Gretchen, travel into the underworld. Now Reinald has finally managed to recruit up a actually decent looking army, so we're going to send him back to the front lines to do some fantastic fighty stuff for us. Meanwhile, Gretchen is finally going to be able to borrow the angel feather arrows off of our main hero, and she's going to return them to the quest giver. Now, should we grab some water elementals? Yes, let's grab some water elementals. They choose to scatter. Do we wish to pursue them? Of course, let's get some experience. Wow, we lose no one and just wipe out the water elementals. Oh my goodness, look at those water elementals. Now that is terrifying. That is the kind of unit design which is going to give people nightmares, game. What is this? Lots of iron golems. Oh, iron golems are fantastic tanks, aren't they? They're awed by our power. Should we choose to engage them? Sure, fine. Let's get some experience in. Oh, apparently they were actually quite easy to defeat. Wow. Iron golems, they have terrible attack, but my goodness, can they do some fantastic stuff back to you. Anyway, we're going to get advanced archery because that means our hero has now given all of our ranged units an extra 25% attack. Very nice. So that means those ice elementals don't shoot for 24 anymore. No. They shoot for 30, and there's 18 of them. So yeah, now you can start seeing how these wacky calculations are getting going. Oh, and there we go. The weekends and all populations increase in size. All right, Gretchen, return it now. Yes, what do we get? Hopefully something good. 500 experience. Seriously, is that all? No, I don't wish to trade it. Do not trade the arrows away. The arrows give us 15% increased archery skill. Do not return the arrows. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we've managed to build the perfect combination of buildings. The treasury, which gives us a 10% on whatever our starting treasury is, and the Capitol building, which gives us 4,000 gold per turn. Combined, this means our gold, which is currently sitting sitting at 365, is going to start increasing at a rather alarming rate. I mean, it's now for some reason at 5,765. I don't know how the maths there has worked out, but all I know is that we have a very large amount of money now. Anyway, let us return the magical arrow for 5,000 experience and level up Reinald with expert diplomacy, basic scouting, advanced scouting. There we go. He is now suddenly level 7. Very nice indeed. Let us... Ooh, the Iron Golems want to join us. Okay, now I can demonstrate why Iron Golems are so good. They're basically dwarves, but better in every regard. So, damage from any spells they receive is reduced by 75%, so they're almost impossible to kill with magic. They do 4 to 5 damage each, very high attack and defense skill, and just like the dwarves, their movement speed isn't that great, although it is much better. You know what, yes, we're going to get rid of those dwarves and replace them with Iron Golems. Sorry, 38 dwarves, I'm just going to leave you standing around here feeling very confused. Oh, what's this? Artifact Vial of Lifeblood? That seems pretty fun. Increases the health of all units by +2. Sure, that's fine. Now, when you increase the health of a unit, that means each and every one of these 20 magma elementals has their health increased by 2. So you now need to do 42 damage to this stack of magma elementals to kill one. That's why this combat is so unique. Honestly, this game is lovely. I really would like to stream it at one point. It's really wacky. Right. Hopefully, my lovely hero here, Reinald, is going to convince these rangers over here to join our cause. Oh, and they will. They will. All 31 of them. Oh, lovely. And they have the spying ability. Oh, that's nice. Now, the thing is, recruiting units is really expensive. You notice we sink a huge amount of gold into it. Like, for example, these 10 Pegasuses here, 275 gold each to recruit. That's a lot of money. Oh my goodness. 27 Beholders want to join us for the sum of 6,750. Beholders are pretty wacky. I honestly might take them up on this offer. Also, it means we spend 6,750, and even if we don't take them, they're gonna get out of the way. Now, the reason why I like Beholders is because they don't suffer a melee penalty like all other range units, and their ranged attack is 3 to 5, which means they do the same ranged attack as our archers, but there's a lot more of them, and also I'm pretty sure they have much more health. So I'm sorry, Elfie boys, I'm just gonna basically leave 13 identical looking elves right here in the pits of, I mean, it's undescribable horror, and they can find their own way home, I'm sure. What on earth is this? Adela's just stumbled into like some kind of ruins and says, I've discovered an old dwarven miner who's kept several maps that he's been working on. So basically he'll sell us a map for 1,000 gold, which will probably reveal the entire area. Yes, let's go for that. Wow, fantastic. We can now see almost all of the underground area. Well done, little dwarf. Didn't really cost us that much either. Anyway, what we're going to do is this little tower, which basically separates our two kingdoms, I'm going to break because the AI hasn't actually reached this area yet. So I'm going to be stealing all of the artifacts that they were meant to grab. Oh my, and probably also recruiting this pack of royal griffins. Ooh, they look very nice. Oh no! Astrologers proclaim a plague. All populations have been halved. Oh, that's terrible. That means our recruitment pool has been greatly diminished, and also all of these people standing around here have been diminished. That's very sad. Now let's get the necklace of dragon teeth. That seems good. Oh, nope, the storm elementals want to join us instead of fighting. Storm elementals, what do you do? I mean, you're not really that good from what I'm seeing. Certainly not better than anything else in our army, so I'm afraid, storm elementals, we're not going to hire you, but thank you for not even putting up a fight whilst we steal the relic you're meant to be guarding. Anyway, we've just managed to pick up a wacky necklace which increases our knowledge and power stats by 11 and 7, meaning any spells we do have are very broken. Although sadly we forgot to grab any spells of this hero. Anyway, let's see if the Royal Griffins want to join us. Of course they will. 18 Royal Griffins. They have unlimited retaliations. Now basically in combat, if you move a unit next to a unit, you get a retaliation attack. These guys can retaliate an unlimited amount of times. Normally you're only allowed to retaliate once. Yeah, right, we're replacing the Silver Pegasi. Bye-bye. We've got some Royal Griffin Knights. Anyway, now that we're here, we're just going to recruit our entire army that we possibly can, the maximum of all forces, and then we're going to hand them all over to Reinald. So there we go, Reinald comes into town, and suddenly instead of recruiting dwarves, we have battle dwarves, so I'm going to upgrade our existing dwarves into battle dwarves. Oh my, they're even better, with 40% magic resistance now. Yes. So naturally we'll recruit all of those battle dwarves. We're also going to recruit the elves, because our grand elves, instead of shooting once, they shoot twice, which if you can imagine, there's doing a damage of about 5, twice per turn, and there's 7 of them. Yeah, it gets pretty wacky. So we're going to upgrade our elves. Anyway, there we go. Reinald's army is looking very good. I think we can probably march him off to combat, really. He's looking ready. Anyway, Adela is down here and she spotted an enemy hero. It is Galfran the Death Knight, as we can see down here. Yes, Galfran the Death Knight. I don't know what army they have. I have no way of knowing, but I'm basically going to attack them anyway because chances are we'll be able to win. Oh my, oh my, oh my. The game auto predicts a glorious victory in which we lose only 1 casualty. Oh, Galfran the Death Knight, I'm so sorry. I've managed to diplomatically convince a large quantity of monsters that would never normally work together to work together. Oh, and I've just stolen all of your loot. Thank you very much, Galfran the Death Knight. Wow, suddenly Adela is now becoming really powerful. She has a 12 power skill and yet no spells that she can actually use. Oh, the Magi begin to scatter. No, let us defeat them. Yes, 23 Magi dead. Oh, let us teach her basic air magic and hopefully she'll grab a spell when she's out and about. Anyway, Ryland is now actually going to march into the enemy territory and he's probably going to be able to take it. Oh my goodness, a group of zombies desire to join. 29 zombies with the special ability of disease want to join. No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to accept Mimi's 30 Mimi zombies. No, 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 no. Thank you for the offer though. Right, it's time for us to leave. Right, Reinhold, you're going to march up through the middle and there we go. We've managed to tear down the scenery and we can now wander into the enemy territory. And there we go, it's the enemy city. Yes, it turns out we're fighting against Necropolis, who are a group of necromancers and skelly boys. Oh, and there's the last of the enemy army. It's Septina, the necromancer. Well, we're probably going to take you out next turn. So, this is the fantastic turn. Reinhold here with an army consisting of 47 centaur captains and actually just our regular normal army, excluding the 31 rogues, are going to go marching straight into Necropolis, and I think we have just managed to take it immediately. Yes, they didn't actually have anything defending it. Well, that's magical. You know, instead of actually taking out the enemy army, we're instead going to use our time here to try and locate where the hidden treasure is. Because basically these lovely little obelisks here have been giving us parts of a treasure map, and when we eventually reveal where it is, probably somewhere around here on the map, we'll be able to do a dig and hopefully find a very rare item. Right, Gretchen, it's up to you now. You're going to have to randomly dig and hopefully we'll find something. Nope, nothing here. Where could it be? Okay, probably the spot just north of you then. It's somewhere around here. There we go. We finally discovered where X marks the spot. Okay, right. I think I know roughly where that is. Let us take a look at the puzzle map. Ah, it looks like it's this spot here. Yes, the one just beneath where I've dug. Great. Right, Gretchen, you're gonna have to go over here and dig, although you need a full turn to actually dig. Okay, right. Hopefully the enemy army does not accidentally just throw itself into me, and we can actually see what the hidden item is. Oh, Blue has banished and left the game. Seriously, Gretchen was just about to dig. No, game, don't. Game, no. Gretchen was just about to find the artifact, game. Oh my goodness. Well, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Thank you very much for watching. I've just demonstrated a little bit of why Heroes of Might and Magic 3's diplomacy is very wacky. The larger the map, the wackier it gets, the more crazy units you can end up throwing into armies together. You can create an absolute mess at the end of the day. It is very good fun. Anyway, I have many more exploits for this game, so if you're interested in seeing anything else in Heroes of Might and Magic 3, then do give me a shout. But I'll say when this video hits about 20,000 likes, I'll get on with making a video about how the Skeleton Snowball as the Necropolis faction is completely and utterly overpowered, because they have the ability to reanimate any units which die, including their own and the enemies. Yes, it's perfectly fine. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been the Spiffing Brit, and if you've enjoyed watching here today, then feel free to give the video a like. It would really help me out. And as always, a massive thank you to each and every one of my patrons for making these fantastically delightful videos possible. Give yourselves a pat on the back, you lovely people. And if you're wondering what video you should probably watch next, then look no further than this one on screen now. Trust me, it's been handpicked by myself to be right up your alley. You're going to love it. It's fantastic. Make sure to go refill your cups of tea, ladies and gentlemen, and go have a lovely time, and hopefully I'll see you down in the comments section. Anyway, goodbye for now, ladies and gentlemen. Have a lovely day.